so for today's video we're going to be discussing the Spectrum Disney collection. So I picked up the Snow White collection. So this is the Bad Apple roll and 12-piece brush set. So I bought it in this nice roller bag. Obviously it comes with 12 brushes in it. I love Spectrum brushes. They've like always been one of my favourites. They're super affordable. Yeah, just everything about them's like really great quality. So obviously I wanted to test these out. Most of these brushes I already have, but I'm happy to have like 2 or 3 in my collection because, well, I always like use them, and then that way I feel like I can just sort of go ahead and rotate them as well. So say like, oh, like I can't bother to wash this brush today, I'll just go ahead and move on and use that one. That kind of thing. Obviously one set's enough. I will link the Mean Girl collection above in case you wanted to check that one out, but obviously we're talking about this one today. So this retails for 80 quid, which you can buy just the brushes themselves for 60. So for an extra tenner you get in the little case thing, but obviously if you don't want the case, you're never going to use it, you're never going to store your brushes in it, then I wouldn't even bother spending the extra £10 really. So say you did buy the one for $15.99, they'd work out about $4.99 a brush, which is really good, because obviously some of the face brushes in here are like £10, $7.99, $8.99, so we're talking that kind of price. But obviously some of the eye brushes, generally they're about 3 to 4 quid. So yeah, you're getting a good deal with that. So let's talk about the first brush. So everything's like on my phone as notes. I usually write everything down, but I just couldn't be bothered. So the first brush we have is the Spectrum A24. So I used this obviously for brows. So it has a spoolie on one end and then a brush on the other. So obviously with Spectrum they have like A, B and C. So A would be application, B would be buffing, and C would be like contour. So I love that because obviously if you're picking up a brush and you're like, oh, A, this must be for application, so this must be for the eyebrows and the eyes and things like this. So it's very, I'd say, like beginner friendly. So obviously this is an eyebrow brush, like I said. So it says, use the comb to brush through and prepare your brows before applying your cream, gel or powder products with an angled brush for filling, shaping and defining. I personally don't like this. Like the brush is far too big. I feel like my eyebrows are really out of control. I went in with a pencil and then I applied Dipbrow and it's just too much. The brush I use, let me find it, is the Anastasia number 12 brush. So you can see the difference in size. So obviously if you have very thin brows, this is going to be no good for you whatsoever. Even the spoolie's quite chunky. This is probably the, well, one of the, I think this, and I have another Spectrum brush that I just don't really use. But this is the one that I don't think I'll ever reach for. It's just far too big for my liking. But obviously it comes in the collection. Some people might really enjoy it. Obviously that's all your personal preference. But for me, it's just, no, I just don't like it. Next up we have the Oval Concealer. So this is a 16 and I love this for like, so I put down concealer on the eyelids and I just pat it out. So this is a firm concealer brush with a flat shape rounded bristle. So obviously you can see. And it says use for application of cream or liquid concealers underneath the eyes or any other required areas of the face. It says it's also great for contouring if you prefer applying the product with a firm brush before blending. So I didn't pack my concealer on with it, I just went in straight with the tube, but I feel like it'd be great because you can get right up in the inner corner. But I did apply contour with it, so I went in with the Nip and Fab Define Stick. Obviously everything I'm wearing will be listed in the bottom bar, but I just went ahead and added to the little areas and then I buffed it out with a different brush we're going to talk about in a minute. But I actually prefer laying down something like that with a brush first. I mean, I don't mind going in from the stick, but I actually feel like it looks better because you have more control with a brush, especially something like this because it's so small. Yeah, I think it's absolutely perfect. So say like you're someone that doesn't really do contour much and you're a bit scared, then I feel like that brush would be perfect because you're going to get a small amount and you're not going to overdo it. So we have that brush there. Then we have the Spectrum A12. I feel like I have like, this is my third one, but I feel like Isn't it me or does it look different? Like, I feel like this is much more bigger and this is a lot smaller. I don't know, like maybe I'm seeing things, but I feel like, I don't know, like I prefer the one from the Mean Girl set. This feels a little bit more, no, I'd say they're probably the same fluffiness. This probably feels a little bit firmer. I still love it nonetheless, but I don't know, like to me they just look different, so I had to point it out. But yeah, I love this for brow highlight, inner corner highlight, which I used it for today, and obviously it's really good for like buffing out the lower lash line, which I feel like I haven't used this brush in ages to do that, and they're really good for that because obviously they're really small, so you can get right up in there. So say like you wanted sort of something quite close to the lower lash line, and I feel like you can pack that colour on and then really buff it out without getting it too far down the eyes. So yeah, I always will love a Spectrum A12. I think it's a beautiful brush. Oh, this is, yeah, so I'm supposed to be reading you what the claims are. So this is the small but perfectly formed brush, the best tool for adding the finer details to your eye look. Used to highlight the inner corners, add depth of colour to the crease, or smoke out and blend upper and lower lash line. I've never actually tried it in the crease, I don't think. Have I? Maybe like a long time ago, but I might actually give that a go. But I will tell you the brush that I like to put like in the socket and stuff, so you'll see that in a minute as well. So next up we have the B06. I love the B06. The B06 is like the best brush in my opinion, especially for hooded lids, just because it's not too big, it's fluffy, it fits right into the crease. Like obviously I went in with the Anastasia and Jackie palette, and I just went in and took ginger and I took that all the way through, and obviously you can see like it's not a lot of colour, but it's still nice and blended in the crease. It's not overtaking. It's just the most, it is like the perfect brush. So it says our most popular eye blending brush. I can see why. This is honestly like a great brush. I love this. So this is the ultimate tool for creating all kinds of makeup looks, from soft to romantic to full blown sexy and smoky. Used to blend our colour to build up shade in the contours of your eye. This brush can do no wrong. They ain't wrong. This brush actually can't do no wrong. It is perfect. It really just, I love it, especially when I don't want to go too heavy in the eyes, because sometimes I will use, let me show you what I use. Sometimes I'll use something like this. So this is the Crown Brush C441, and obviously you can see the difference. Like this is so much more bigger and fluffier. So that's really if I really sort of want to blow the colour quite out and quite high up. But I love this for like, I'm pretty sure I use this in most of my general looks. Like I always love the Spectrum B06. It's a great brush. Oh, this one. Oh, just dropped it. Oh, come to me. Okay, next up we have the Spectrum A07. So this is what I love to define like this socket. So I just took edges from the palette, and basically I take it on its, no, is it like the front? It's not the side. I take it like this way, you'll see in the video anyway, and I just go through and buff that right into the crease, so that really adds the definition without taking it too high up into the crease, so I can still see ginger, but I can just add edges, add a little bit more definition, make my eyes look a little bit bigger than what they are. So this is soft and fluffy for blending, so I feel like I can blend, but I still go in with a like tapered brush to blend, just because I have to. Like this just isn't enough. But the stubby shape means you can really pack on the colour. This brush is the perfect starting point for creating super smoky eyes of very pigmented colours. Yeah, because of its like density, but it's quite fluffy, you can really sort of pack in, like say you wanted to go ham with like purple or something, you can really just, you don't even have to go bang bang bang, like you literally tap it in and go in and then really add colour really well. And obviously if you want to blend it out further with a different brush, then that's obviously not an issue, because it blends. But yeah. So next up we have the Spectrum A16. I love these brushes. So I love these brushes for packing on colour on the lid. They're perfect for getting in the inner corners, especially because of my eye shape. I don't know if you can see this eye, but like this sits down, and if I went in with like a finger, a bigger brush, it comes and it collects here. which is obviously annoying because I don't want to have to get up, find a makeup wipe and things like that. So this is perfect for just getting that all over lid colour. So I took, what did I take from the palette? It was Zamn, I think. Everything's obviously listed in the bottom bar. It says small flat precision crease brush with firm and round bristles used for precise application of cream and powder eye colours to the crease or the eyelid. Oh, so they're saying it's more like a crease. It's perfect for creating an on-trend cut crease look. I'll tell you what, I've never actually tried it for anything like that. I usually go in with their Spectrum, I think it's the A16, it's like an angled brush. But yeah, I can see that because it's so small you can really get in there. But obviously, yeah, I love it for lid colour. I think it's perfect. And obviously you could take it and you could really go in as well. So I can see where they're getting from if you wanted to do a cut crease with it. Next up we have the oval foundation brush. So I don't personally like foundation brushes. I haven't used one since I think the start of my YouTube channel. I just prefer a beauty blender or another brush that I'm about to talk about. But I love these for cream contour, which I didn't use today. I wanted to try the other brush. But I love, so you can sort of dig it in and you can really like pack it on. So I love it for that. If you're really in a hurry, it's great for blending out concealer as well. You can just sort of pack it on really, really fast. But today I used it just to put on primer. So I put a little bit of like Nip and Fab primer on the brush and I just went in and added it on. Perfect, super easy, don't have to use fingers. Obviously if you don't want to, because you know, like bacteria, and if you're dipping in products and things like this, it can get messy. Then I also went in with the Ofra firming primer. So I just went in and I took it out between the brows, under the eye, jawline, smile lines, things like that. So it's really great because obviously it fits right in between the brows. You can get it around the nose area. It's a really good brush to have. Obviously I wouldn't personally go out and buy one, like say like you were just out and you're like, I want a foundation brush, then I wouldn't personally buy one. But if they're in a collection, then I feel like they are actually really handy, and some people might enjoy a foundation brush. It's all personal preference. Oh yeah, and obviously on the website it says blend cream and liquid products onto the skin. So obviously you could probably blend what are we talking about? I literally just said I apply with it. Your contour, like your bronzers, your cream bronzers and cream contour products. Yeah. We got there in the end. Firm over bristles allow for precision application and even distribute product onto the skin. Smaller heads means that you can get into the fine areas of the face and build your ideal base from light to full coverage with an even and flawless finish. I think one day I will try it out with foundation, but today's not that day. Next up we have the Spectrum B01. So this is the foundation brush that I love. So I went in with the Hourglass foundation sticks, and I actually prefer using a beauty blender to blend this out, but I was like, do you know what, I'm going to give this a whirl today, and it actually done a really, really good job. I love the Spectrum B01, especially for like liquid foundations, especially if you don't want to go in with a beauty blender, say you haven't wet one and you can't be bothered. It's a beautiful, beautiful brush, and yeah, I just love it, and you can get a really nice full coverage with it. So say like you do prefer a brush over a sponge, this is a great one. So on the website it says change your foundation game. This beauty is to blend cream or liquid products onto the skin. I mean, I guess you could probably blend like your cream contour and stuff, like it fits in the face nice. So this super soft bristle means the foundation could be buffed lightly into the skin for beautifully in finish that could be left lighter or built up to full coverage. So obviously you can sort of buff it, or you can, I like to pounce it in. It depends on my preference of the foundation, I guess, really. This product is also perfect to contour the face by blending, like I said. This brush is great for multitasker. Try it to stipple in powder into shiny areas of the face, or even blending cream blush. Yeah, so obviously, like I said, if it's going to blend your foundation, it's going to blend cream products like blushes and things like that. But I haven't ever tried it with powder. I think that would be really nice, especially if you like quite a heavy powder, if you're quite oily, things like that. I feel like it'd be really, really good. So next up we have the CO4. So this is a nice big angled brush. So I love an angled brush. I'm a sucker for them. I think they're great. I feel like they're always slept on. I feel like hardly anyone uses them. So I just applied bronzer with this today. So I just swept it across the cheeks, the forehead, and then the jawline, just because it said on the website that it is perfect for the jawline. So I thought, well, I want to give it a go. So this is creating a striking contour look with angled powder. This brush is designed to apply product where it's needed to give the appearance of more defined bone structure. It is a great brush to add definition under the jawline and use broad sweeps to add depth to the cheekbones. So I actually really enjoyed this. I'm pretty sure I've already got one of these, but I never really used it because I love the Spectrum CO6. So this is what the this is the CO7, sorry. Yeah. Obviously you can see the difference, like this is like really fluffy, like I love this brush. If I had to pick, I would pick the Spectrum CO7, but obviously this comes in the kit and I feel like this is just as good, but like this holds, like just, oh my baby, I love it. Then next up we have the BO5, so this is like a really fluffy blending brush. So on the website, I'm confused by this because it says use the dense yet fluffy taper brush to create beautifully blended eye looks. To me, this is just, I mean, if you've got big lid space, then maybe I guess. But to me, if I try to do anything, I'm literally just going to only get colour. I won't be able to do anything else. So I'm not quite sure how that would work personally for me. But it says buff in precision contour around the nose, highlight the brow or cheekbones. Like it's too big. Like it's going to end up either in my brow or it's going to end up down here. Or the cheekbones. I didn't use this to highlight, but I will show you the brush that I did. And it says an even buff in your concealer. This beauty is multifunctional. So I did use it to buff in my concealer, but I personally didn't like it. I feel like it took away some of the coverage, which I find like never happens. I could use the Cover FX Power Play Concealer, which is like, to me, full coverage. Like it's beautiful. So I didn't really like it for that. But when I put down the contour with the little mini brush, I can't remember what it is now, I just buffed this out. It was super fast, super easy, so I really enjoyed it for that. Like I feel like it'd be a good buffing brush, especially like for beginners. You can go in with the little brush and then you can go in with this and really blend it out. Yeah, I love it. I think it's great. Then we have the Spectrum BO8. I keep saying like Spectrum like it's a thing. I think it's because usually when I do like a makeup, I'm using the Spectrum BO8 and the crown brush, see, blah blah blah. So it's like, I feel like I'm having to say it. So this is the BO8. So this is, to me, the perfect highlighter brush. Yeah, I love these kinds of brushes. They're my absolute favourite for highlighting. I don't really like a fan brush much, so I'm glad they didn't really put a fan brush in this. I do have fan brushes, not my personal favourite, but they're not bad. So it says, this brush is a dream come true. The long tapered bristles are perfect length to lightly dust setting powder. When I read that, I was like, I'm going to have to try it. So I went in with the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder and I just went in and applied it like over the face really. So I got it around the nose area, around this bit, and I feel like it was just perfect, especially to get in like to the finer details. I feel like it'd be perfect for setting the under eyes. I actually feel like this brush as well, this was the BO5, would be good for setting the under eyes as well, just because of its shape. But yeah, obviously it's a highlighter brush as well. Yeah, it says, or highlighting or sculpting a shape for more chiseled look. Work your makeup magic with this beauty. So yeah, I just feel like it's the most perfect highlight brush ever. Like, to me, I love these. I think they beat everything. Okay, so this is the last brush. So this is the Spectrum AO5. So yeah, again, it's another angled brush. I love these. So obviously you could turn it this way or you could turn it this way, so you can get less product here, or you can like pat the product down and then really blend it out, or obviously you can go in this way and sort of do exactly the same thing. But I feel like because it's angled, it just fits the face better. So this says, creating beautifully shaded and highlighted cheekbones with a precision blush brush. This tool is perfect for applying a small amount of product and building to get a natural looking blend finish. Yeah, essential piece to the kit. I really do feel like this. Like, I love this blush brush. That's a bit of a hard word to say. I feel like it's just perfect. Like, everything about it just fits amazingly to me. So yes, that was the whole collection. I love this. Like, by the way, this is like magnetic as well. Like, it doesn't like, do you know when you have to go like this and you have to try and clip it in? Oh, I hate those. They do my head in. So it's just nice. You could just throw it in and then off you go. You can throw it in your handbag, or if you travel a lot, I feel like it's perfect. And look how beautiful this is. Like, this is so stunning. Like, all the details, all the little diamantes, everything Spectrum do to me, they just do 10 out of 10. Like, they never fail to amaze me. Like, the whole Mean Girl collection was just, out of the park brilliant. So yeah, I really do recommend this. I will always recommend Spectrum brushes to everyone. I think they're great, they're super affordable. Yeah, I love it. They even got like a little apple. It says Spectrum X Disney. And I just like those little details, like, you know, like I feel like that's what really, like, you look at it and you're like, oh, that's cute, but like you wouldn't think to add it, but when you look at it, you're like, oh, that's like such a nice little detail, like, to just have. And I feel like that's what they always do. Like, they always just knock it out of the park. But yeah, definitely go and check them out. I'll leave their website in the bottom bar. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video.